And we are live. Hello, one and all, and welcome to this very special video. Around this time of year, we are only, 45 days away from the grandest show of the year, WrestleMania 33. And in this video, I have two very special guests with us, and we are going to be breaking down our card predictions for what we were able to come up with realistically seeing taking place at the Showcase of the Immortals, the granddaddy of them all, the greatest live event in sports entertainment history, the one, the only WrestleMania! And with that great introduction, I have my friend, you know him as the Club of the Man 1993. It's my good friend Mike. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Sure thing. Looking forward to this.
Yes. And my other good friend, let me get the sentence structure right, Robbie One Kenobi. Robbie, it's great to have you back on the channel.
Great to be here. Always great to be on the channel. Thank you for having me. Where my hand goes up, your mouth goes silent.
We have a Miz fan. And don't worry, the Miz is going to be on my card. There's a lot of potential outcomes for WrestleMania 33, and I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. So how I figure this is going to go, we'll each run down our own cards, and if you want to discuss, why you made the matches that you did, you can say that, and then at the end of your cards, we can kind of each, say our thoughts of, I like that match, we like that match, what have you. So
yes,
we'll start with Mike. Mike, run down your card predictions from top to bottom for WrestleMania 33.
All right, so the biggest problem I had with my card was that I don't know if all the championships are going to be on the WrestleMania show, both the main show and the pre-show this year, which is how many there are. But I still included the potential situations I can see. So my card has 15 matches on. I know that's way too much, but just a couple ideas to toss around back and forth.
Wow.
So my first match I have is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, of course, which probably guys like Braun Strowman, The New Day, any other odds and ends are probably going to be in that match. My second match is the rumor match of Big Show and Shaquille O'Neal. I have it as a retirement match. If this is a match just for Big Show's final match, if he is rumored to be retiring, then just let him do it. Because if this is one of something on his bucket list, let him do it. Let him go out with a bang. The third match I have listed here is one that's been rumored also, which I would love to see this. For the Cruiserweight Championship, Neville and Austin Aries.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very... Oh, yes, indeed. I just hope that if they do that, they start, teasing something, sometime soon with it, not just, right after Fastlane, just, long-term booking, you know what I mean, right here. But, anyways, if they do a match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, I'd say it's got to be American Alpha versus the Usos.
Okay.
If there's the Raw Tag Team Championship, I'd say the Club versus Enzo and Big Cass, and this is where Enzo and Cass finally win those titles.
Yes.
The SmackDown Women's Championship, I didn't really know where to go with this, so I just did a fatal four-way: Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James versus Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Now, for the Intercontinental title, I actually have two possibilities for this. I do like the ladder match, but with how this feud's been starting out, I wouldn't mind seeing this be just Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. But if they decide to do a ladder match, my 7 participants in the ladder match would be Ambrose, Corbin, Kalisto, Dolph Ziggler, Apollo Crews, Mojo Rawley, and a 7th surprise member, Ty Dillinger.
Nice. I like that.
Even though I think this match is Baron Corbin's to win right here, in my opinion, honestly. And then I have the rumored mixed tag match, which I could see this maybe starting the Battle Royal next week. And, of course, with the little powder stint at Elimination Chamber, John Cena, Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maryse. My next match is just a match just to get these two on the card, which they might even have a match at Fastlane, which is Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. Now, my 8th match, speaking of the Festival of Friendship, is Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. But I add a little bit of a twist on this. I put it for the U.S. title, but give the stipulation on this, an I Quit match. Because my theory is if this is going to be Jericho's last match for this run, could you see some way of him being written off that if he would come back eventually, would this feud pick back up?
They could, sure. I'd love to see them have a long-term feud. Why not?
That's my theory behind adding that stipulation with the I Quit match. And then the one SmackDown versus Raw match I picked, Finn Balor and AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah, you got to go with that.
Both of these guys deserve like some type of like high upper card match. Like, I'm sorry, I will not be really throw with the Styles and Shane McMahon. Like, AJ deserves a lot more. I mean, I really still think he should be in the main event, but I'm accepting that's not going to happen. But that's the best match I can think of for those two.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate for this match to be for the fruit roll-up, it's probably going to happen anyways. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
The one match that it could be good if he turned heel. If not, I'm not interested really much at all. Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. The Raw Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way, Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax. And then right now I'm predicting a triple threat match for the WWE Championship, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton versus Luke Harper.
Very nice.
Yep.
Is that it, Mike, for your card?
Yep, that's my card.
Okay. I noticed that my card and your card are pretty similar, so if you see some overlapping matches, that's okay. This is, we're trying to get, as close as we can to the actual card for WrestleMania 33, if you guys don't mind. Anything else you want to say about your card, Mike, before we jump on to mine?
If any of these matches, which one would you want to be the main event of Mania?
That's a good question. I like that.
I mean, I know it's probably going to be Lesnar and Goldberg, but I would rather not have that. But if anything, I would like it to be Bray Wyatt, Orton, and Harper.
Yes.
Give them the shot.
I mean, technically, it should be the main event, right? Because the Royal Rumble winner, main eventing WrestleMania, WWE Championship is really the most prestigious title.
Pretty much is, yeah.
That'd be a great spot for Bray, and Harper.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I want to see Bray get a long title reign, but I wouldn't mind if Harper would somehow out of nowhere win this. Like, I'd find it acceptable. Of course, I wouldn't really be as thrilled if Randy Orton wins, but as long as it's a good match, that's all I ask for,
Yes. All right, then, guys. Ready or not, here we go. We're going to jump into my card, and like I said, it's very similar to Mike's, but there are a couple, little differences here and there. So we'll start off with mine. I also have, of course, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, and I think this one, kind of throwing out an early prediction, I think if Braun Strowman's in it, it definitely could be Braun Strowman's for the taking. I don't know what you guys think about that, but he would just be there'd be a perfect role for him at think about it, his first WrestleMania on his own. So we'll see.
Sure, yes.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be on the pre-show. Now, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 14 matches, so I was able to condense. I have 3 matches on the pre-show, and that would leave, 11 on the main show, if my math is correct. All right. So for my second pre-show match, I have the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I was really, conflicted on what to do because I have Naomi walking in as champion, but obviously they're going to have a rematch between her and Alexa Bliss. We have issues between Mickie James and Becky Lynch, and just what do you do with the entire division? Well, I found a great way to get everybody on this card. I have a 6-pack challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
That's
Naomi defending against Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Natalya. That way the entire SmackDown Women's roster is on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know what you guys think about a 6-pack challenge, but I thought it just made sense.
I think it does too, yeah.
It's the match that introduced the title at Backlash, so how fitting would it be that you bring that match back for WrestleMania with a new champion and a potential new champion to be crowned, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it gives everybody the opportunity to shine. So that's my SmackDown Women's Championship match. For my Raw Tag Team Championship match, which I have on the pre-show, it is a Fatal 4-Way for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Anderson and Gallows defending their straps versus Enzo and Big Cass versus Cesaro and Sheamus versus The New Day. So that way it keeps all 4 of those teams in the mix on the WrestleMania card. And getting into the main card itself, I also have Neville versus Austin Aries. I hope that ribbon match takes place because that would be just awesome. Neville. Austin Aries. When you think about it, it screams like a WrestleMania match, and it would be the best possible match that they could come up with for the Cruiserweights.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
We'll see. I also have Dean Ambrose defending his Intercontinental Championship one-on-one. Funny, Mike, I originally had a ladder match too, but then I realized we've been getting ladder matches for the past 2 years at a WrestleMania. Yeah. The last time we truly had a one-on-one Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania, I believe, was at WrestleMania 29, the WrestleMania I was at. It was a half-assed match on the pre-show between, remember, The Miz and Wade Barrett. And that sucked. Sucked live. I'm sure it sucked watching it at home. Nobody cared.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I agree, yeah.
It was so stupid that they had The Miz win the title just to drop it the next night to bury it on Raw. That was so stupid.
Yeah. Don't remind me of that.
Just leave. They should have just left the belt on Barrett and then have Kofi Kingston take it off him like he did. Or no, it was, what's his name?
Curtis Axel.
Right. So they should have just done that.
Yeah, but they're idiots.
Yeah, they are.
So, but a one-on-one championship match between Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin, what they did at Elimination Chamber was great. How they followed it up on SmackDown was great. Keep this one-on-one. You know, I think it would just help, you know, raise the prestige of the Intercontinental Championship, especially being defended in a singles match, which we haven't seen in a long time at WrestleMania. The ladder match to me has worn out its welcome the past couple years. Not that I don't love a ladder match, but if you're going to do a ladder match, just do Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
I want that one-on-one. So that's what I have on my card. I also have Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe, but I upped the ante on my card. I have them in a street fight at WrestleMania.
I like that.
You know?
Yes.
We'll see if it's just a one-off their feud or if it could extend. And if it extends, you have to up the ante. So I figured that was a good stipulation to put onto that card. Or match, excuse me. Mike, I also have a fatal four-way for the Raw Women's Championship. I have Bayley walking in. I hope God she doesn't lose that title. It would just be a stupid hot potato decision. So I have Bayley walking in as champion, defending against Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax. And I would like to see, you know, Sasha do the heel turn. You know, either it's coming. So I would like to see Sasha Banks walk out of WrestleMania as the heel women's champion, and then have Bayley go on the chase and build to that big Bayley versus Sasha Banks match down the line.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, that would be a SummerSlam match. So we'll see. We'll see. I also have the mixed tag, John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maryse. I also have Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens, strictly for the United States Championship. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. The triple threat for the WWE Championship. Bray Wyatt defending against Randy Orton and Luke Harper. We'll see if he gets added. The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Everybody loves Roman.
Well, be honest though. I mean, I think the past couple weeks, I think I at least do like what they've been giving him to say better, just short and sweet, saying I'm just the baddest man, getting away, I'm kicking your ass or something like that. So I have been enjoying his reign a little bit better, but if they're not going to turn him heel, this match is going to be completely pointless.
Yeah, no, and the crowd will crap all over it.
I just was watching Battleground 2013 last night. It was Cody Rhodes and Goldust against Shield, and I was watching the old Roman Reigns, and I was like,
the good Roman Reigns.
That was a badass Roman Reigns right there. That's the badass Roman Reigns we've been needing for a while. Look at how they booked him in the Shield, and now look at him.
I know, it's completely different. It's two different guys.
If they're going to have him feud with Undertaker, he has to, 1, turn heel. That is the most important thing in that feud. And B, he has to have new ring gear. He needs to abandon the Shield gear and just come out with new ring gear.
He's stuck in Shield mode for like how many? 3 years now? 4 years. Oh, God.
Way too long.
5. Wow.
Oh,
that's crazy. That is crazy.
It is.
I have Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, shoot. I forgot that one.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was wondering why that wasn't on your card.
I forgot that, yeah.
Versus Seth Rollins, but I have a no disqualification match. I think that would be a good stipulation to
add. Get the sledgehammer in there somewhere.
Yes, because you know it's going to be involved. And finally, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. And that's my WrestleMania 33 card. That's all I got. So like I said, pretty similar to yours, Mike, but there are a couple little differences in there. But I think if we get a card like this, I think that would be a very good card for WrestleMania.
Yeah, you know? As long as they write it right, then yeah, that's
And so far, I've been enjoying the build. I really have. So hopefully they can keep it up. That's all we need. A good road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Without any other questions, Robbie, we're going to segue over to you. What card do you have for WrestleMania 33?
All right, so my card is going to be pretty similar to yours, guys. But I also actually did one better. Actually went one step beyond. So I have a predicted card. And then if there's time, Daniel, I have a fantasy card that I booked myself. And the predicted card, it only took me 5 minutes. The fantasy card took me a while to book, but that's because I wanted to make it a stacked card. So I'll go with the predicted card first, obviously. And then, like I said, if we have time, I'd really like to share my fantasy booked card with you guys because I have a ton of stacked matches on that card.
Sure.
All right, so first up on my card, I have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Pretty simple. I mean, I think Braun Strowman could ultimately win that match. And if he does and they continue booking him strong, then they continue the pattern that they did with Baron Corbin, because look at how well he's been booked since winning that Battle Royal. Based on their interactions on SmackDown and Elimination Chamber 2 days prior, I have American Alpha defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Usos. For the Raw Tag Team Championships, I have Gallows and Anderson defending against Enzo and Cass. And like Mike said, with both my predictions and my fantasy card, I was a little unsure if they were going to have every single championship defended or what major titles would be defended other than like the world titles. So I did the best that I could. I don't have a Cruiserweight match on here, but on my fantasy card, I have a very special Cruiserweight match, you could call it. But getting back to my predictions, I have a fatal four-way. I have for both women's titles, I have fatal four-ways. I have Bayley versus Charlotte versus Sasha versus Nia Jax for the Raw women's title, and then I have Naomi versus Alexa versus Mickie James versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Based on what happened at Elimination Chamber and probably what's going to happen in the Battle Royal, and the fact that John Cena eliminated him in the Elimination Chamber, I have John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maryse, which honestly, I'd rather see The Miz fight Daniel Bryan and John Cena someone else. But I mean, this match isn't terrible, but to me, it doesn't really scream WrestleMania. So, like I said, it's not terrible, but it's not like something I have to see. Oh my god, oh my god. For the United States Championship, I have Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens, and to make it interesting, I make it a submission match because both of them have submissions in their arsenal for the United States Championship. I do like Mike's idea of an I Quit match because, like you said, if that's Jericho's final match for now, then you know what better way for him to go out, so to speak, than if he says I quit and you know Owens humiliates him on the grand stage. Don't want to see AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon, so my fingers are crossed that we get an interpromotional battle of former Bullet Club leaders between AJ Styles and Finn Balor. I also have Seth Rollins versus Triple H. This is an obvious one. Daniel, you said no disqualification. I'm going to up it a little bit. I'm going to go with a street fight.
Sweet, yes.
Yeah, I think this warrants a street fight with everything that's happened recently. And Seth Rollins will be out for blood. So, yeah, a street fight between him and Triple H would be perfect. I also have Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, and hopefully it's a heel Roman Reigns and not a baby face. You know, I'm not a good guy, big guy. You cannot do this feud if Roman is a face. He has to be a heel because he's clearly the one you don't want to root for.
Exactly.
Right, yes.
He has to really, you know, do something heelish, ballsy, to get in Undertaker's face or to try and, you know, stake his claim as the new top dog, big dog, you know, running the yard. And, you know, if the way that Roman looked at Taker with like one eyebrow raised, you guys remember that? The Rumble? If that's the indication of him turning heel, then that's a good sign. So we need a Roman Reigns Undertaker. We need Roman heel against Taker. I also have Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship. I really like how they started building to this at Elimination Chamber. I like, you know, with Baron Corbin throwing Dean Ambrose like a pile of bricks through that freaking pod, and then their little altercation on SmackDown. Like Baron Corbin is up 2-0 on Dean Ambrose, so I like that. I also have based on what I think is going to happen Tuesday night in the Battle Royal. Bray Wyatt defending the WWE title against Luke Harper and Randy Orton in a triple threat match. I think it makes sense because it brings this feud, the whole implosion of the new Wyatt family, full circle. And lastly, the match that I really don't want to see for the Universal Championship, but because it's Vince and it's Raw, they're going to do it because somebody's got to get his win back. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar 3 for the Universal Championship. So, yeah, those are my predictions. I really don't have much else to say because, like, you know, we pretty much have the same cards, same matches and whatnot. If you guys give me one moment, I gotta run outside, grab my meal, and then I will be back with my fantasy booked card. I'll be right back.
Sure. Well,
sure, that's fine.
But honestly, going into this WrestleMania, I feel, you know, already more excited than I did for 32. I mean, 32,
definitely.
You know, just looking back on it, we just had a lot of injuries, and this year you have no excuses. You have an entire, except for Rollins, but, you know, he'll most likely make it back. And Balor's coming back soon, too, so those two will be healed up. So you will almost have a 100% healthy roster. So WWE, just give us the best possible card that you can do, and there will be no complaints. We just want to sit down and watch and enjoy WrestleMania.
And don't make it 5 hours, please.
Well, yeah, that's another thing, the length of the show. But if the matches are good, you know, I really won't complain about the length of the show.
Right, yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of matches on this show. But we'll see. We'll see. So far, I already like, you know, from what I see taking place, you know, let me just pull up, you know, the card itself. We already have Goldberg Lesnar confirmed. And I really am interested. I like the way that they're going along with the story of that. Pretty much telling, you know, that Goldberg has Brock's number, and what if he beats him again in WrestleMania? You don't know. I mean, Brock's probably going to win, but I just like that aspect of the story being told. Brock could dominate everybody else except for this one guy. And can he beat him at WrestleMania? Well, we'll have to see. And I like the foundation they've laid for Triple H and Seth Rollins. That was fantastic. Reigns and Undertaker, that's a big question mark. You know, build worries me. Taker's health worries me. That's another thing we have to remember. He did not look good at the Royal Rumble.
Didn't he just have some type of hip surgery also, too?
He did. But you noticed at the Rumble, he had a bit of a gut.
Yeah, he didn't really look the strongest I've seen. Definitely better than he looked at WrestleMania 30, but yeah, he didn't really look like he was a little slow moving, I thought, that night.
And I heard afterwards he was banged up.
Taker did not look in the best of shape at the Rumble. I mean, yes, he looked better than he did at 30 because 30 he looked like, before I watched it, he looked very frail. At 30, but at the Rumble, he just looked like he put on some extra weight. His punches weren't the best. I don't know if he was just having an off day, but he did not look in good shape. And if he's gonna fight Roman Reigns, he has to be in really good shape because Roman Reigns is a hard hitter. Say what you will, but
Reigns is a good wrestler.
He is, yes, he is.
I will never take that away from him. When they say he can't wrestle, I'm like, you stupid idiots. Yeah, he can.
He can.
He can.
He's booked like crap.
Yeah, it's his booking that sucks.
The one thing about Goldberg and Brock I don't like is that it has to be for the title. This is like Roman and Triple H last year because it didn't have to be for the title. But because they wanted to make Roman the guy, the title had to be like I already did. Like you saw the video, the Royal Rumble Memories video we did, right, Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
I said that like all they had to do was have Roman determined to get his belt back, then have him like go on the warpath, get suspended, come back, screw Triple H out of the championship, and then lay down a challenge to Triple H saying, hey, let me fight for my job or something, like let me get one shot at redemption, whatever, and there's your feud. Instead, they gave him a title shot when they busted their ass to get the title away from him, and that did no favors for nobody except Triple H because he got to have another WrestleMania main event as champion.
It ruined the whole feud.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
After that, it was all downhill.
Yes.
Anyway, Robbie, are you ready to give your fantasy card predictions for WrestleMania? Good.
Yes, I am. All right. So this card has our predicted cards have potential to deliver a really good to great show based on how things play out. But me, I wanted to, when I saw the predicted card, I said, you know what, that doesn't have a WrestleMania feel to it. So I went the extra route and actually did a fantasy card myself because I love to do fantasy booking. That's I think one of the best things about the YWC is that you can be your own booker and you can come up with your own matches and pay-per-views and whatnot. So this card is very special because it's stacked. If they went with this card, we could be looking at a 7-8 hour WrestleMania. It is stacked, but trust me, these are matches that would mean something. These are matches that would deliver. It's just this is what WrestleMania would be about. So Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Like I said, would probably be Braun Strowman's to win. I like the idea of the Battle Royal. So, you know, of course, have that on the card. Now, we were talking about Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship. Well, I'm totally for that match. You know, I haven't been feeling the Cruiserweight division lately, and I wanted to have Neville on this card. So I said, who could I put Neville up against on the grandest stage of them all? And then a light bulb went off in my head. So I have the Cruiserweight Champion Neville, the king of the Cruiserweights, going one-on-one with the WWE United Kingdom Champion.
Ooh, Tyler Bate.
Wow.
In a champion versus champion match.
Woo!
That'd be awesome. That's a good one.
Lit, as the kids say. That would be lit.
Did you see their match on NXT the other night?
Yes.
Good match.
That was a really solid match between those two.
That was a good match. This would be great. You know, Neville talked about not being included in the Cruiserweight, not the Cruiserweight Classic. Well, he did, but the United Kingdom tournament too. He talked about that. Tyler Bate is the inaugural United Kingdom champion. I thought, why not bring them together? They're two of, you know, United Kingdom's finest athletes. One is only 19 years old. The other one is the man that defies gravity, and he's the king of the cruiserweights. Let them go for 10, 15 minutes. Let them be themselves. They'll tear the house down, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
That's a really good pick.
Quickly won me over during the tournament, and honestly, I think that'd be an awesome match. If you're not gonna put Neville against Austin Aries, give Tyler Bate his first WrestleMania moment. Put him in the ring with Neville. I would love to see that.
Definitely.
Yes.
Next up for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, I have American Alpha defending against the Usos and against the Revival in a triple threat elimination match.
Ooh,
I like that one.
I love that.
We need new tag teams on both rosters. I feel like the Revival is the perfect team to revive, no pun intended, the SmackDown tag team division. And why not have them rekindle that feud with American Alpha?
Why not?
That's fine, yes.
Like I said in your Elimination Chamber live chat, Daniel, that feud is pure gold.
Yes.
And all the Usos in there because of what happened at Elimination Chamber and the feud that happened earlier in the fall between them. That's pure gold.
I agree.
Yeah, just adding this one to my card because I love these guys and I want to see them have a moment. Enzo and Big Cass challenging Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson for the Raw Tag Team Championships in a Tornado Tag Team match.
Sure, yeah. They've been going at it for like over a year.
Match. Let's do Tornado and have them fight all over Orlando. Let's have them go out there and just show them why neither of them are SAW. Well, Enzo and Cass might think the club is SAWFT.
So
next up, a special attraction match that has to happen because it's been building for months. You know, go back to I think the summer when this initially kicked off. The Miz with Maryse versus Daniel Bryan.
That just makes sense.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
I love what they've been doing with the Miz and Daniel Bryan, and it would be fucking pointless if they don't do anything with either of them. You know, what was all promos for and stuff then? You know,
nothing.
Yeah.
Only way I can see him getting involved in that rumor mixed tag match is because she's your sister-in-law and he's dating her, something like that, blah blah blah, with that crap. But it's like that's still not really,
kind of lame.
Gonna fill. Yeah, exactly.
So let's see what we got. You still there, Robbie?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know if we lost. Okay. Anyways,
no, I'm still here. Yeah, I just had a chicken wing.
Okay.
I can eat one.
So next up, I have and again, like Mike said, when I was trying to come up with this card, I was trying to think do I have every title defended? Do I have certain titles defended? Because I almost had like 16 matches on this card. That's a 10-hour WrestleMania right there, guys.
Oh yes.
You could split that up into 2 days.
Probably.
Yeah. definitely. I'd actually like to see that, a 2-day WrestleMania.
Sure, maybe that would be easier to watch.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
So both women's title matches are fatal 4-ways. On the Raw side, I have women's champion Bayley defending against Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax in a submission match.
Ooh.
3 of the 4 use submissions. Nia Jax could probably use standard submissions or a bear hug or anything like that. For the SmackDown women, I have Naomi, the hometown girl, defending against Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, and Mickie James in a ladder match.
Ooh,
Wow.
match.
The SmackDown women are always doing bigger and better things. SmackDown doesn't promote the shit out of it like Raw does. First time ever, history in the making. But the women would do big things in a ladder match. So I would love to see that.
Sure, we haven't seen one of those yet.
Yeah.
No.
Next up, Dean Ambrose defending the Intercontinental Championship against Baron Corbin in a lunatic fringe street fight.
A lunatic fringe street fight. Wow. That's a neat title.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Originally, it was going to be a heel Dean Ambrose versus John Cena in a lunatic fringe street fight for the IC title. But after what happened between Corbin and Ambrose, I thought, oh, man, I'd like to see a Corbin-Ambrose feud. Book me for that. I'm there.
Yes.
Yeah. I think after this feud, though, I think sometime before, I think Dean's going to finally turn heel. I think, in my opinion.
He will.
I mean, I think he's saying, though, it's like build someone else up as a strong baby face first before you turn. Because if he turns and like someone's gonna feel like it's missing. But I mean, either way, it's like I feel like they're just like finding like any small little feud to like get in there that he hasn't done yet before they finally do that turn. Because it's been like how many years now since he's been a face as long as Roman Reigns has. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'd say go for it, give it a shot. Like you said, I'll probably like make him a stronger main event player than he was as a babyface when he was champion.
Yeah, I hear you. I do feel like Dean is due for a heel turn soon.
It's coming.
Yeah, it is.
Next up on my card, I have Bray Wyatt, a face Bray Wyatt. Let me emphasize that, a face Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Versus a heel Randy Orton with Luke Harper in Orton's corner in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah,
I think that a lot.
Whether it's Wyatt and Orton or Wyatt and Harper, Falls Count Anywhere, that's just going to be a war zone. I'd love to see that.
Yes.
That'll be one hell of a battle.
Oh, yes.
Okay. The next match was originally supposed to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock. This is something, Daniel, we've talked about for a little while. We feel like it has to happen.
It does.
Yes.
Ability on Roman. But I thought of something better. I thought of a more intriguing storyline for Roman Reigns. So, it would be Roman Reigns. Now, keep in mind, when I booked this, I changed some things. So, obviously, with Wyatt and Orton fighting each other, Orton didn't win the WWE. Well, Wyatt didn't win the WWE Championship. Orton didn't win the Royal Rumble. So, I made changes because it's fantasy booking. So, I made changes based off Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble. So, assuming Roman Reigns loses to Braun Strowman at Fastlane, he comes out and he says he wants a shot at the Universal Championship. He wants to come out. He's just going to demand a shot because he's had his ups and downs, but he wants one more shot to prove that he is still the big dog, the guy that he says he is. And then out comes Finn Balor to come and claim what was originally his, a shot at the Universal Championship that he never lost. And then Roman Reigns gets in his face and says, well, guess what? While you were out nursing your little injury for whatever amount of months, I was out here kicking ass, taking names, and I took the United States Championship with me. So you want a shot, got to get to the back of the line, son. And then I'd have Finn remind Roman that on Finn's first night, he beat Roman for a shot at the Universal Championship.
Right here in Pittsburgh.
I was there.
Yes, yep. July 25th. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget.
Nope.
Yep. And so with that said, I'd have a little altercation between them, and it would lead to this. Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns in a WWE Universal Championship #1 contenders match, the best 2 out of 3 falls.
Whoa, yes.
Think about it.
Money,
Finn
baby, money.
Finn beat Roman once. Roman could be pretty ballsy and say, hey, you beat me once, but odds are you can't do it again. And I have Finn say, well, you know what? I can beat you again and again and again. And I was going to go for a 30-minute Iron Man match, but I said, no, let's do best 2 out of 3 falls. And think of the story. Roman Reigns wants one more shot at the Universal Championship. He's lost opportunity after opportunity. He lost to Braun Strowman. He has one shot left. And obviously, I'd have Roman turn heel for this feud. He's not fighting Balor as a face. No, he's got everything on the line. So he has to, and just imagine 2 out of 3 falls. How far will Roman go if it goes 1 fall apiece? How far will he go to win? What will he do, as a heel? So it has a great story. Balor has something he wants to reclaim. Roman has something he wants to reclaim or claim for the first time, but they each have something on the line. And isn't that what wrestling's all about? Storytelling that gets us invested?
Exactly. Yes. That's really good booking right there, Robbie.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Balor and Roman, the rematch, it would happen months after their first battle in Pittsburgh, and this time the stakes would be higher, and it would be 2 out of 3 falls. So for Finn, he's got to prove it wasn't a flash win or anything or a fluke. For Roman, he's got like everything on the line, and it's 2 out of 3 falls. Who's willing to go that extra mile,
Exactly.
Next up, I have Brock Lesnar versus not Goldberg. Fuck that match. I'm scrapping that shit. That shit, if I was booking, it would happen at Fastlane and get it over with. I'm having Brock Lesnar face someone else that deserves a shot at slaying the Beast Incarnate. And that person would be the Swiss Superman Cesaro.
The long-awaited match we've all been wanting since 2014.
Yes.
That would be great.
Nothing much else to say. We wanted it since 2014. Cesaro deserves that big shot, that big match on the grand stage, and I think why not put him in a ring with Brock?
Definitely.
Go for it.
I have nothing else to say about that except fuck doing Goldberg and Brock at Mania. I'd have that shit at Fastlane, and then I'd have Brock move on to fight Cesaro. Next up, I have, and this match is an obvious one, Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Daniel, you made a no disqualification on your card. I'm making mine no holds barred.
That's another good clip. I like that one.
Oh, yes.
Nothing much else to say about that. This feud's been going on. This feud has been building for a while, and with Seth getting re-injured, it just adds more fuel to the fire, and now he has more of an incentive to go after Triple H.
It's just way too perfect, which is how it's all happened,
Yes.
It has.
Next up, all right, this one's going to be huge. Listen to this one. Now, Kevin Owens will still go into WrestleMania as the Universal Champion. Chris Jericho will still go into WrestleMania as the United States Champion. So it will be Owens versus Jericho versus Sami Zayn. And get this. This is where I really up the ante. It is a winner-takes-all triple threat for both the WWE Universal Championship and the United States Championship.
Wow.
Yes.
That puts it all on the line.
You have Owens and Jericho, who just split up. You have Sami Zayn, who's fighting to get that one shot at the Universal title, and he's had beef with Kevin Owens for years, especially in WWE recently. It brings it all together. Think about it. One man on that night would walk out with both titles. And if Sami Zayn was to win, he'd be the first guy to ever win 2 new championships in the same match. The first ever double new champion, or however you want to put it. Think about it.
Wow.
Yes.
3 of Canada's best, triple threat, Universal title, United States title. They all interact with, or they all intertwine with each other. Owens and Zayn, Owens and Jericho, Zayn and Jericho. It all comes together. That's the best match. I mean, that would be awesome.
Definitely.
Yes, I agree.
And then finally, the main event for the WWE Championship. The champion, AJ Styles. So that means John Cena didn't get that 16th title. I have nothing against it, but in this fantasy booking, I have something very special planned. So it's AJ Styles, the champion, versus the new winner of the 2017 Royal Rumble. Get ready for this. That winner is Donald J. Trump.
What the hell? Donald Trump! I don't believe it! Oh my God! The president! The president!
WWE Championship at WrestleMania. I am going to make SmackDown great.
Robbie, it's great. It's wonderful. This is the greatest card in the history of WrestleMania.
It will be the best WrestleMania of all time.
Donald's coming back.
And when I beat AJ Styles, I will build a wall so he can't get to me.
He'll never be able to get to me. I never liked AJ. I never liked him at all. Stupid idiot.
No, I'm sorry. I had to do that, Daniel, because you did it in your Royal Rumble predictions.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So, the real Royal Rumble winner would be the Destroyer, Samoa Joe.
Ooh. Wow.
Yes.
And there you have it, guys. I'd have Joe win the Rumble. I'd have him come after AJ. I'd have AJ try to stay away from him. Even tell Shane McMahon, hey, this guy's kind of dangerous. Did you see what he did to Seth Rollins the other night on Raw? And then Joe's just there for one thing. Kick ass, take names, and take the WWE Championship, AJ Styles.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Great.
I love it.
That's a good card, Robbie.
Thank
That's
you.
a really good card.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm out of breath from that.
Woo! Yes.
Woo!
Guys, that is it. That is our card predictions preview video for WrestleMania 33. Like I said, the big show, the granddaddy of them all, is only, roughly 45 days and counting. So it will be here before you know it. So if you guys got your own card predictions, be sure to leave them down below in the comments section. And we look forward to reading those comments. And I just want to say thank you to Mike and Robbie for joining me in this live video. Had a ton of fun doing it. It's always great having you guys back on this channel. Love having you guys back on.
It's a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Not a problem. And before we go off the air here, you guys can get plugs in for your channel. Robbie, we'll start with you. You can get that plug in.
Thank you again, Daniel. It's always a pleasure being on your channel. Thank you for allowing me to read off my WrestleMania fantasy card. You guys can find me at Robbie1 Kenobi on Twitter and YouTube. Just type it in the same way that it's spelled on my YouTube when you find me on Twitter, and you'll find me there. Thanks again, Daniel. Guys, make sure to keep supporting Daniel and Mike's channels.
Yes.
And, yeah, again, Daniel, thank you for letting me do my fantasy card as well as my predictions. My fantasy card. See, this gets me salivating for WrestleMania 33. If this was the actual card,
Ooh.
I appreciate your support.
Oh, yes.
And we are – Daniel wasn't here when I said this, but I want to give a shout-out to Gene, to Mean Gene as I like to call him, because together, the four of us, we are the four horsemen of the YWC, baby.
Yes.
Woo!
Woo!
Everything right. Jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun. The
We're the
next
four horsemen of the YWC. We're like brothers, and we all come together to support one another, and we need our own T-shirts.
Yes, we do.
Woo!
And our own ice cream bars as well.
And our own
Woo!
cereal.
Yes.
So if you listen to your fans, then where are my WWE ice cream bars?
It ain't happening. Punk already tried that. It's not going to happen.
Unfortunately not.
No. All right. Mike, you're up for your plug.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93. You can find me here on YouTube as the Club of the Man 1993 as well. And of course, same with, as Robbie said, check out Dan and Robbie's channel as well. They both produce great content as well. So, yep.
All right. That is it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you had a great time. Enjoyed having you in the live chat. Please remember to click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. As we're heating up on the road to WrestleMania, that means more and more content every week as we get to the big day, April 2nd, 2017. So cannot wait. Look forward to it. It's the best time of year to be a wrestling fan. And that is it. Thank you once again for tuning into this live video. And you guys have a great rest of your evening. And let's go, Penn!